Hi everyone, welcome to Psychology 4426 Training and Development. My name's Greg Cole and I'll be your instructor over the upcoming weeks as we go through the class. Just wanted to take 5-6 minutes or so and give you a little video introduction to the class. One of the things I find with a lot of web courses is because we're not face-to-face, once or a few times a week, there can be some connectivity challenges and people feeling like they're not quite as involved as they would be in a regular traditional classroom style class. So I wanted to cover off just a few of the logistics, a little bit of a broad overview of what the class is going to cover in terms of content, and just a real quick introduction to myself, and then turn you loose. So here we are in week 1. If you've taken one of my web classes before, you'll find the structure of what's where is pretty much the same, but if you haven't, or I guess even if you have, this is your week to go through the class and really just do that. Explore and find out where everything is. Make sure that you're looking at, ASAP, the course evaluation section, the course outline, the syllabus, know where the assignments and the discussion sections are. Take a look at the course modules. You might want to start in on Chapter 1 right away and just get that sort of a feel for where things are. If you have any questions, guys, I can't say this strongly enough. It's posted all over the web course in a couple different places. Please get in contact with me or the TA, whoever you're more comfortable with. You'll find that my contact info is there. I'll give it to you again right now. Email is greg.cole@smu.ca, and my cell number is posted as well in the course intro. You can use that for text at any time if you have any questions. Well, I say any time. I prefer it not to be Thursday or Friday night at like 2 in the morning, and that has happened before, and they've been odd texts, but that's a whole other story. Or again, the cell number that I've listed, it's the cell that I use for my business, so you can certainly call it at any point in time if you have questions. I don't want you guys feeling like you're sort of left out in the cold if you have issues. Both myself and the TA have a commitment that I've asked them to maintain as well, to return students' emails within 48 hours. If it's an emergency and you feel it just can't wait that long, by all means, call me. But texts and emails, that's my commitment, is a 48-hour turnaround time. Other than that, really, again, just go through, take a look through the material, make sure you know where everything is. Oh, one thing I will throw out there, it just seems that every semester we roll a course over from one semester to the next. There's one file or one piece of information somewhere that seems to be stuck in the old semester. Particularly noticeable if it's something with dates on it. If you notice something where a due date looks like it's from a past class, it probably is, and it was probably something that just got missed. Please send me a quick text or email to point it out to me. I'll throw you a bonus point for your troubles, and we'll just move forward from there. That lets me fix things up ASAP. In terms of the course content, if you've looked at the syllabus or if you've looked through the textbook, you'll notice a couple of things. Number one, there's 15 chapters in the text. We don't cover all of them in the class. What I've done is take an approach to say, if we're going to cover a chapter, I'm going to cover the entire chapter. And so what I've done is gone through and I've pulled what I think are the most relevant of the chapters out, and that's what we're covering through this course. You'll notice in terms of timing, if you're taking this class in the regular academic year, we cover one chapter a week. And if you're taking it during the summer session, I hope you like reading because we cover 2 chapters a week to get through it all. All right. The textbook is a really good textbook. It's Managing Performance Through Training and Development by Sachs. We're currently in the 6th edition. And if you look at the table of contents, you'll notice what it does is it takes an approach that I refer to as a cradle-to-grave approach to T&D. It starts off with just some broad topics around organizational learning and individual motivation, that kind of stuff. And then it gets into a process, starting in Chapter 4 with the needs assessment, that looks at from the very moment you decide that you might need to do, and key part there is might, need to do training, what needs to happen to make sure that it's as effective as possible. So it looks at a 3-phase needs approach. It goes into training design, how do I put it together? The next few chapters look at different training methodologies that you're most likely going to pick a combination of methods in any one training intervention. And then it gets into a number of chapters of things that happen both in the delivery and afterwards, like doing evaluations and transfer of training to make sure people actually do what they learn, and some other really interesting topics. So from cradle to grave, from start to finish, and I will tell you up front, guys, my background, as you'll see on the instructor bio in the course, is in HR consulting or HR management. A lot of companies in the, get out of academia for a minute and get into real world. When they go through and they look at, geez, we need to do training, they skip a lot of stuff at the beginning, they skip a lot of stuff at the end, and they just throw people into a classroom and say, here, you got to learn some stuff. So this approach is, I think, very comprehensive. It is the most effective process to do good training, to change behaviors, make sure people learn what they need to learn and can actually do it back at the job. And it's the approach that I take in my consulting business. Now, in looking at this and with any classroom kind of stuff and reading through, you know what? Some of this stuff, as I flip through it, the theory can be kind of dry. What I'm going to try to encourage you to do, and what I hope you'll see with the assignments and the discussions, is a lot of them are designed to get you thinking about how would this be used in the real world. And so all the way through, when you're looking at the modules and reading the text, I want you to try to think about jobs that you either are in now or have held, and just think about, did they do this? Or if they didn't, how would it have been different? And you'll find some of the discussion questions and so on actually will ask you questions like that, because I find with this and with industrial organizational psych in general, from a classroom perspective, the more you can apply it to something real, the more interesting you're going to find it. So whenever you can come up with examples like that for you personally, try to find them, try to think about them. And when there's opportunities in the class, I really ask you, please share them, because it not only adds to your value, but it'll add to your classmates as well. All right, guys, I blathered on enough. Take a look through the course. Again, contact info is there. Call, text, email, whatever you need to get a hold of me. I'm not on campus often, and it's usually by appointment only, but when I do come in, I'll often book one of the team rooms in McNally, Maine to work out of. And when I'm doing that, I will try to post it ahead of time with as much notice as possible. And if you're around, by all means, stop in and say hello. I love meeting the students. I like to see that face-to-face. It's one of the things that I miss the most from the web courses. But again, it's about you guys. So any questions, get a hold of myself or the TA. Enjoy the class, and hopefully we'll be chatting soon. Cheers.